Welcome to UFO Files. I'm your host, Ben Carter. In the hushed early morning hours of December 29, 1980, an unassuming pine forest near Huffman, Texas, became the stage for one of the most controversial and unnerving UFO encounters in history. Betty Cash, Vicki Landrum, and Colby Landrum, three ordinary citizens, found themselves at the epicenter of a cosmic drama that would irrevocably alter their lives. Their encounter began with a spectacle of light in the pitch-black sky, an incandescent diamond that pulsed and shimmered amidst the stars. As the object descended, it transformed into a colossal, flame-spewing craft, leaving a trail of black smoke in its wake. The air surrounding the car grew unbearably hot, as if the very fabric of reality was being singed by this otherworldly presence. In a desperate bid for safety, the trio fled their vehicle, but not before suffering significant exposure to the craft's intense heat and radiation. The fallout was immediate and severe. Within hours, they exhibited a range of health issues, including nausea, vomiting, and severe burns. And the trauma of the event itself, the sight of that strange, fiery craft, the oppressive heat, the sensation of being caught in a radiation storm, left deep psychological scars that would persist for years to come. What followed was a long and arduous journey through a labyrinth of government bureaucracy and media scrutiny. They sought answers, justice, and above all, healing. But it seemed that every door they knocked on was slammed shut in their faces. Medical authorities were baffled by their symptoms, and government agencies remained tight-lipped, denying any knowledge or involvement in the incident. The Cash-Landrum Incident has since become a focal point in the debate over government secrecy and the reality of UFO encounters. It is a chilling reminder of the profound and often devastating consequences that can befall those who inadvertently find themselves on the front lines of humanity's contact with the unknown. But perhaps the true mystery of the Cash-Landrum Incident lies not in the event itself, but in the deafening silence that followed. The government's refusal to acknowledge the incident, coupled with the lack of concrete evidence, has left many questions unanswered. Was this a genuine encounter with extraterrestrial technology, or perhaps a clandestine military experiment gone awry? And if it was the latter, why has there been such a concerted effort to bury the truth? One thing is for certain: the Cash-Landrum Incident is more than just a case study in UFO encounters. It is a testament to the human capacity for resilience in the face of unimaginable adversity, and a stark reminder of the lengths to which the powers that be will go to keep their secrets hidden. It is a story of courage, of heartbreak, and of a search for truth in a world that often seems determined to suppress it. The origins of the Cash-Landrum Incident are rooted in a time and place of heightened tension and uncertainty. The late 1970s and early 1980s were a period of rapid technological advancement, coupled with a deepening Cold War paranoia. The event unfolded in the piney woods of East Texas, a region steeped in mythology and folklore, a fitting backdrop for an encounter of such otherworldly proportions. It was the night of December 29, 1980, when Betty Cash, Vicki Landrum, and Colby Landrum, Vicki's 7-year-old grandson, were driving home from a dinner outing. The trio was traveling along an isolated road near Huffman, Texas, when they encountered a large, diamond-shaped object emitting a brilliant light and intense heat. The object, which hovered menacingly above the treetops, was accompanied by a fleet of military-style helicopters, a sight that further compounded their fear and confusion. The era was marked by a widespread fascination with UFOs and the possibilities of extraterrestrial life. This fascination was not limited to the public sphere. It was also a time when the U.S. government was engaged in covert research programs aimed at investigating UFO sightings and encounters. This climate of secrecy and intrigue undoubtedly played a role in the subsequent handling of the Cash-Landrum Incident. Accounts of this encounter quickly spread, stoking the fires of public speculation and media frenzy. Yet, the government remained conspicuously silent. Despite the severity of the witnesses' physical symptoms and the corroborating testimony of other local residents who also reported seeing the strange craft and helicopters, official investigations yielded no answers. The U.S. government flatly denied any knowledge or involvement in the incident, a stance that has only served to fuel the speculation and conspiracy theories that continue to surround the case. The Cash-Landrum Incident took place against a backdrop of scientific and technological breakthroughs. The space shuttle program was in its infancy, and advancements in aviation technology were being made at a breakneck pace. However, these developments also brought with them a new level of secrecy, as military and government agencies sought to maintain a competitive edge in an increasingly tense global climate. Could the strange craft witnessed by Betty Cash, Vicki Landrum, and Colby Landrum have been a product of this era's technological innovation? Or was it a manifestation of something far beyond our current understanding of the cosmos? This was an era characterized by a potent mix of fear, secrecy, and technological progress. In this climate, the Cash-Landrum Incident unfolded, a chilling episode that continues to stir debate and speculation to this day. As we delve deeper into the story, we find ourselves navigating a maze of unanswered questions and shadowy implications, a testament to the enduring enigma of this defining UFO encounter. At the heart of the Cash-Landrum Incident were three individuals: Betty Cash, Vicki Landrum, and Vicki's 7-year-old grandson Colby. Their lives were irrevocably altered on that fateful December night in 1980. But they were not the only witnesses. As we delve deeper into this enigmatic event, we encounter a range of key figures and compelling evidence that lend further credence to their extraordinary account. One such figure is John F. Schuessler, a former NASA engineer and co-founder of the Mutual UFO Network, also known as MUFON. Schuessler carried out one of the most thorough investigations into the incident, meticulously documenting the physical symptoms suffered by Cash and the Landrums, as well as the radioactivity levels measured at the site where the UFO was purportedly encountered. Schuessler's report, which remains a cornerstone of the Cash-Landrum case file, offers a chilling account of the physical and psychological toll of the encounter. It details Cash's severe nausea, burns, and hair loss, symptoms that would persist and worsen over time, ultimately leading to her hospitalization. Vicki and Colby Landrum also experienced eye irritation and burns, with Colby suffering long-lasting trauma from the incident. Further bolstering the credibility of their account are the numerous eyewitness reports from local residents who also claim to have seen the UFO and the accompanying helicopters. Among these additional witnesses were law enforcement officers, lending an added layer of credibility to the sightings. Perhaps the most compelling piece of evidence comes from radar reports obtained from the National Weather Service and the Federal Aviation Administration. These reports showed unexplained blips on the radar screen coinciding with the timing and location of the Cash-Landrum incident. These radar anomalies, coupled with the physical evidence and eyewitness accounts, have made the Cash-Landrum case one of the most well-documented and intriguing UFO incidents in history. Despite the wealth of evidence, the U.S. government's response remained one of denial. The official stance was that neither the Department of Defense nor any other federal agency had any connection to the incident. This position was upheld even in the face of a lawsuit filed by Cash and the Landrums, seeking compensation for their medical expenses. The Cash-Landrum incident remains a profound mystery, one that continues to captivate and perplex. As we delve deeper into the enigma, the question persists: was this a clandestine military operation gone awry, or a genuine encounter with an unidentified aerial phenomenon? The answers remain elusive, obscured in a haze of secrecy and intrigue. Yet the evidence, the witnesses, and the enduring physical and psychological scars tell a story that cannot be easily dismissed or explained away. At the heart of the Cash-Landrum incident is a theory that straddles the boundaries of known science and the realm of the unexplained. The central hypothesis, supported by a wealth of evidence, posits that Betty Cash, Vicki Landrum, and Colby Landrum encountered not just an unidentified flying object, but a craft of non-human origin, or possibly a highly advanced and secret military device. This theory is fueled by the unusual nature of the craft itself. Based on the witnesses' descriptions, the object was neither a conventional aircraft nor a recognizable military vehicle. It was diamond-shaped, pulsating with brilliant light, and emitted an intense heat that caused the road beneath it to bubble and the car's metal surfaces to become hot to the touch. This description does not align with any known technology of the time, further fueling speculation about the craft's origins. The accompanying 23 helicopters, identified as twin-rotor CH-47 Chinooks, deepen the mystery. Why would such a large fleet accompany a single craft? If it were a secret military operation, why employ such a conspicuous formation? The presence of these helicopters suggests a level of involvement and knowledge from certain elements within the U.S. military. Yet their role and purpose in the incident remains shrouded in uncertainty. Adding to the complexity is the physical aftermath suffered by the witnesses. Their symptoms, ranging from nausea and burns to hair loss, bear stark resemblance to radiation sickness, a condition not typically associated with exposure to conventional aircraft or known military technology. This has led some to believe that the craft was powered by a form of energy or technology currently unknown or unacknowledged by mainstream science. The U.S. government's steadfast denial of involvement, despite compelling evidence, has only fueled the theory that there is more to this incident than meets the eye. It has sparked suspicions of a cover-up, with some suggesting that the government's silence is a calculated effort to conceal the existence of advanced technology or extraterrestrial contact. The Cash-Landrum Incident stands as a testament to the limits of our understanding, a case that defies conventional explanation. It is an enigma that continues to challenge, provoke, and tantalize, a narrative woven with strands of secrecy, silenced voices, and a mystery that remains tantalizingly out of reach. The central question, obscured by layers of intrigue, persists. What truly happened on that chilly December night in 1980? The answer remains as elusive as the unidentified craft itself. In the aftermath of the sighting, the physical evidence left behind painted a stark picture. The road where the encounter occurred showed signs of extreme heat, with patches of the asphalt appearing to bubble and warp from the intense temperatures. This kind of heat damage is not characteristic of any known aircraft exhaust or propulsion system, and certainly not from the CH-47 Chinooks that were allegedly present. The damage to the Cash-Landrum's car was also notable. The vehicle's exterior became hot to the touch, and the dashboard reportedly melted under the intense heat. Even the car's vinyl seats were warm and sticky, signifying an extreme heat source. Again, this is not consistent with the known effects of any conventional aircraft, or even military technology of the time. Adding to the physical evidence were the biological anomalies suffered by the witnesses. Betty Cash, Vicki Landrum, and Colby Landrum all experienced symptoms akin to radiation sickness, including nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, generalized weakness, burns, and hair loss. Their conditions were so severe that they sought medical treatment. The attending physicians could not definitively identify the cause, but agreed their symptoms were consistent with exposure to high levels of ionizing radiation. Interestingly, the car also showed signs of radioactivity. Initial readings taken by a radiological health specialist from the Texas Department of Health were inconclusive. However, a later investigation, conducted by UFO researcher and former NASA engineer John Schuessler and his team, recorded unusually high levels of radiation, particularly on the car's back seat, where Colby had been sitting. This radioactive footprint is particularly puzzling. An ionizing radiation source potent enough to cause such immediate severe effects would be incredibly dangerous, and handling it would require specialized protective measures. Yet no such precautions were observed with the alleged accompanying helicopters. This discrepancy raises questions about the nature of the craft and the technology it employed. Furthermore, no verified radar returns or electromagnetic interference were reported in conjunction with the Cash-Landrum incident. The lack of these corroborative indicators is curious, given the magnitude of the event. It adds another layer of complexity to an already intricate puzzle, further distancing the incident from any known technological or natural phenomena. The physical and biological evidence left in the wake of the Cash-Landrum incident suggests an encounter with an entity or technology far beyond our current understanding. Whether this was a brush with extraterrestrial life, an encounter with a secret, advanced human technology, or something else entirely, is a question that continues to spark intrigue and fuel the mystery surrounding this extraordinary event. In the face of mounting evidence and public pressure, government agencies and military bodies were compelled to respond to the Cash-Landrum Incident. However, their reactions were characterized by denials, deflections, and a remarkable lack of transparency. Betty Cash, Vicki Landrum, and Colby Landrum, in their pursuit of answers and justice, filed complaints with local, state, and federal authorities, hoping to uncover the truth behind their encounter. However, their pleas fell on deaf ears. The Federal Aviation Administration, the National Transportation Safety Board, and the Nuclear Regulatory Commission all claimed no jurisdiction over the case. One might assume that the military, given the reported presence of numerous helicopters, would provide some answers. However, the Department of Defense categorically denied any involvement. In an official response, they stated that no military or any government operations were being conducted in the vicinity of the incident on the night in question. This blanket denial, in spite of eyewitness accounts, added to the growing skepticism and suspicion toward the government's handling of the case. In desperation, the victims turned to their elected representatives. Texas Senators Lloyd Benson and John Tower, along with Congressman Charles Wilson, became involved in the case, pressing the military for answers. However, they met with the same stonewalling and denial. The Air Force insisted that no aircraft, either conventional or experimental, were in operation that night. Frustrated by the lack of progress, the victims filed a $20 million lawsuit against the U.S. government in 1983, alleging negligence and seeking compensation for their injuries. The case, however, was dismissed due to lack of evidence linking the military to the incident. In an intriguing twist, several key witnesses reported being visited by individuals claiming to be government agents. These men, often referred to as Men in Black, were said to have discouraged the witnesses from speaking about the incident, further fueling speculations of a cover-up. The handling of the Cash-Landrum Incident by government and military bodies has raised more questions than it has answered. The persistent denials, the lack of transparency, and the alleged attempts to silence key witnesses lead us to wonder, was there something more to this incident that the authorities were keen to keep under wraps? The answers remain as elusive as the mysterious craft that ignited this saga. The Cash-Landrum Incident, like many other UFO sightings, forces us to confront deep-rooted questions about reality, authority, and our place in the cosmos. Its repercussions penetrate the surface of mere curiosity, reaching into the realms of philosophy, psychology, and sociology. At the heart of this incident, we grapple with the unsettling notion that our reality may be much more complex than we perceive. The existence of unexplained aerial phenomena challenges our commonly accepted understanding of the world. The possibility that we may not be alone in the universe, or that there are advanced technologies beyond our comprehension, shatters the illusion of human supremacy. It's an existential crisis that compels us to reconsider our position in the grand scheme of the cosmos. From a philosophical perspective, this case raises questions about truth and authority. The stark contrast between the victims' accounts and the official responses from government and military agencies creates a chasm of mistrust. It paints a picture of authority figures as potential manipulators of truth, while ordinary citizens become the guardians of an untold reality. This power dynamic challenges our faith in established institutions and their role in shaping our collective understanding of the world. In terms of psychology, the incident and its subsequent handling have left profound scars not only on the victims, but also on society at large. The fear, uncertainty, and frustration experienced by those involved echo in the collective psyche of the public. It reinforces a pervasive sense of paranoia and suspicion towards the government and its capacity for secrecy, which can breed conspiracy theories and foster a culture of skepticism and mistrust. Spiritually, the Cash-Landrum Incident provokes a profound sense of awe and wonder. The possibility of extraterrestrial life or superior technologies broadens our perception of the divine, challenging traditional religious dogmas. It invites us to consider a spirituality that encompasses not just our world, but the entire cosmos. Culturally, the incident has contributed to shaping our collective narratives and myths. It's part of a larger cultural fascination with the unknown, the mysterious, and the forbidden. It feeds into our insatiable curiosity and fuels our storytelling traditions, reminding us that there are still uncharted territories to explore, both in the external world and within our own consciousness. In conclusion, the Cash-Landrum Incident is much more than a UFO sighting. It's a mirror reflecting our collective anxieties, hopes, and questions about the world we live in and beyond. It's a testament to our eternal quest for knowledge, truth, and understanding in an increasingly complex and mysterious universe. The ripple effects of the Cash-Landrum Incident continue to be felt today, its enigmatic narrative resurfacing in various forms of modern media, sparking renewed interest and discussion. Documentaries, podcasts, and even leaked videos have taken on the task of delving into the mystery, casting fresh light on the decades-old incident. In 2009, the History Channel's series UFO Hunters devoted an episode to the Cash-Landrum case. The show's investigators revisited the scene, interviewed witnesses, and explored the possibility of the UFO being a secret government project. This brought the incident back into the public eye, renewing interest and speculation. The Internet, with its boundless platforms for independent research and discussion, has also played a significant part in keeping the case alive. Online forums and social media groups dedicated to UFO sightings and extraterrestrial phenomena are awash with references and theories about the Cash-Landrum Incident. Leaked videos purportedly showing similar UFOs have found their way into these digital spaces, fanning the flames of intrigue. Podcasts, too, have taken up the mantle. Shows like Astonishing Legends and The Unexplained have aired detailed episodes on the incident, using the intimacy of the audio medium to explore the human impact and emotional toll of the event. These narratives often lean into the personal experiences of Betty, Vicky, and Colby, highlighting their courage in the face of fear and uncertainty. The political landscape has not been immune to the pervasive influence of this case. In late 2020, during a congressional hearing, Senator Marco Rubio acknowledged the seriousness of unidentified aerial phenomena, ushering in a new era of government transparency on UFOs. Though the Cash-Landrum case was not directly mentioned, its influence is inescapable, contributing to the gradual shift in public policy and attitudes towards UFO sightings and investigations. Significantly, the media resurgence and modern impact of the Cash-Landrum Incident have served to shift public opinion. The narrative, once dismissed as fringe belief, has gained mainstream acceptance. The sense of mystery and fear that once surrounded such incidents is increasingly being replaced by curiosity and a genuine desire for understanding. The stigma associated with UFO sightings is gradually lifting, replaced by a renewed interest in the exploration of the unknown. The Cash-Landrum Incident's resurgence in modern media represents more than a renewed interest in a decades-old UFO sighting. It symbolizes the changing attitudes towards the unexplained, the challenging of established authorities, and the quest for truth in the face of secrecy and denial. It serves as a testament to the resilience of forbidden knowledge and the enduring human fascination with the mysteries of our universe. In the realm of speculative theories, the Cash-Landrum Incident has sparked a myriad of intriguing interpretations. Some encompass alien contact, others delve into the possibility of time travel or interdimensional portals, while a few venture into the realm of secret technology programs and potential hybrid agendas. The most controversial of these theories, perhaps, is the idea of alien contact. The witnesses' detailed description of the UFO, coupled with the detrimental health effects they suffered, has led some to believe that this was a direct encounter with extraterrestrial beings. Critics argue that it is unlikely that an advanced civilization would cause such harm, but proponents maintain that our understanding of alien motivations is, at best, speculative. The time travel theory suggests that the UFO was not an alien craft, but a vehicle from our future. Advocates for this theory argue that the radiation which caused Betty, Vicky, and Colby's injuries was a byproduct of a time travel device. They suggest that the military helicopters were attempting to intercept and neutralize this temporal anomaly, explaining the government's subsequent silence and denial. The notion of interdimensional portals also rises in these discussions. Supporters of this theory posit that the UFO was not a physical object, but an energetic manifestation, a window into another dimension. The radiation, in this context, would be an unintended side effect of the interaction between our dimension and another. The secret technology theory proposes that the UFO was a product of clandestine government programs. It suggests that the military helicopters were escorting a top-secret experimental aircraft, one that, unfortunately, malfunctioned and released harmful radiation in the process. This theory is often cited to explain the government's avoidance of responsibility and subsequent cover-up attempts. Finally, the hybrid agenda theory suggests a more complex scenario. It posits that the incident was part of a broader plan by extraterrestrial beings to merge their genetic material with ours. This theory suggests that the radiation was not harmful, but transformative, intended to trigger rapid evolution or genetic modification in the witnesses. While these theories are speculative and controversial, they reflect the human need to understand the unexplained. They offer possible explanations to a mystery that has baffled investigators and sparked curiosity for decades. Each theory, in its own way, pushes the boundaries of our understanding, challenging us to consider possibilities beyond our conventional wisdom. They embody the spirit of inquiry that lies at the heart of our fascination with the Cash-Landrum Incident, the enduring enigma it presents, and the broader universe of unexplained phenomena. Despite the multitude of theories and countless hours of investigation dedicated to the Cash-Landrum Incident, there remain lingering questions that continue to elude us. The case is a paradox, a puzzle with missing pieces, a story that defies our understanding of reality. This incident, as with many other UFO encounters, remains shrouded in mystery, challenging us to question what we think we know and to stretch the limits of our imagination. One of the most vexing questions is why Betty, Vicky, and Colby were the only ones to report such a traumatic experience that night. If there were indeed 23 Chinook helicopters present, as the witnesses claimed, why has there been no corroborating testimony from the military personnel involved? The lack of additional witnesses and the government's denial of any involvement only deepens the enigma. Then there's the issue of the radiation sickness suffered by the witnesses. If the UFO was a product of secret government technology or an extraterrestrial craft, what kind of energy source could cause such severe reactions? Our current understanding of physics and technology does not provide a satisfactory explanation for this aspect of the case. The physical evidence is another conundrum. While the witnesses' medical conditions provide some tangible proof, the lack of any physical trace at the site of the encounter is perplexing. If a craft emitting high levels of radiation hovered so close to the ground, why was there no residual radiation or physical damage detected? Lastly, why has there been no official acknowledgement or explanation of the incident? If the government was indeed involved, why has the case been met with such steadfast denial? The silence of the authorities only amplifies the intrigue surrounding this case. The Cash-Landrum Incident, like many other unexplained phenomena, confronts us with the limits of our knowledge and the vastness of the unknown. It forces us to grapple with the uncomfortable reality that there are things in our universe that we do not, and perhaps cannot, fully understand. Yet it is in these mysteries that we find a profound invitation to explore, to question, and to wonder. As we contemplate the Cash-Landrum Incident, we are left to ponder the nature of reality and the vast expanse of the unknown. We are invited to consider the possibility of otherworldly visitors, secret government projects, and the potential for encounters that may forever remain beyond our comprehension. We are encouraged to ask ourselves what is real, what is hidden, and what might still be out there, waiting to be discovered. The Cash-Landrum Incident, and cases like it, invite us to step outside the realm of the known and dare to entertain the extraordinary. It begs the question, in a universe so vast, so complex, so mysterious, is anything truly impossible? Thanks for listening. This has been another episode of UFO Files. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to follow us wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you'd like to support the show, subscribe to the Forbidden Knowledge Network on Patreon. Subscribe now.